Wow, I can't believe I procrastinated on this video for 3 months. But anyway, hello. 3 months ago, when I first recorded this intro, got the idea to make the 10 shadows. One, because I got serious to max, and it was funny how you could just bombard people with shadows. And two, JJK was airing, and then the Megami vs. Reggie episode happened. And I thought, you know what, I can make the 10 shadows into Roblox. Once I was done with it, I was probably gonna port it to my main game, Compact Rumbles, because I was slightly burnt out for coding it. So now, I hope you can enjoy this video. The mic quality will deteriorate because I have not received this new microphone yet, so bear with me on that one. Anyway, thank you for watching this video and please enjoy. Alright, Divine Dogs. So, I guess they're not dogs because I made the white one and the black one, fuse them together to make the totality version because I was too lazy to make them both. I did not use Blender for this. Instead, I used Roblox Studios and all their parts, mostly because I was too lazy to relearn Blender. Besides, I think actually the model looks good besides from when you're looking from it or looking at it from the side. Anyway, I got started with coding it, and instead of me actually making, I guess you can say a skill for it, I started making the AI for the shadows when you're eventually going to summon them. Since the dog didn't have any cool ability, I decided to make it mostly strong at slashing, and so I gave them an N1 combo, separated from the rest of the shadows. And I didn't really know why, but afterwards I felt confident in making models, so I went straight to creating the GUI to show the shadows or which ones you have, and then I got started on the next shadow, which is... Yeah, now looking at it, I think that if I added some blocks that represented fur, then maybe it would look a little better, but the goal of the ability was for Niue to pick up the opponent using the lightning and bring them to the air, and then you can combo off of that, but it kind of just brings them and pushes them forward, so I don't really know, I'm too lazy to fix it, and it does actually combo with the Divine Dog, so it all works out in the end. And then after I coded it, I of course added some effects I got from Compact Rumbles that I made a while ago, and then this was way later on. I actually made so that if you double click or double tap your jump button, you could fly with Niue, and it takes some of your awakening bar, but I'm not really using awakening bars for the traditional awakenings anymore. They're kind of just there for other things. And now that I'm looking back on my timeline, I'm realizing that I forgot to talk about the fact that you can fuse Shikigamis together, and then you still get the abilities of each of them, and they kind of get stronger and the appearance looks different, if that convinces anybody. Also, don't mind Rika, she's a placeholder for other Shikigami so I don't get errors, but even still, I still find a way to pull out the errors out of nowhere. Also, there was a small problem, and I'm actually making the abilities in tandem with the AI's abilities, so when I was testing the AIs, I realized that they don't actually like each other. So I had coded it so that they ignore each other and they kind of just go on fighting their target, and I still am fixing that. Well, not still, but it took a while for me to fix it. Is it just me, or does Niue's animations actually look kinda good on the Toad? It's just idle animation, but the fact that he's turning away kinda gives him some aura. Anyway, the ability is just a simple ray cast in front of the player, and if it hits anything, the Toad will be summoned and then will grab the enemy and pull them towards the Toad. The coding of it was fine, I just copied and pasted a move from Rika and changed the effects. But of course the main problem was the effects. I was actually only tweening the Toad's tongue by its size, and then I figured out I actually had to calculate the enemy's position and then tween it so that the Toad's tongue doesn't go behind his head, like pierces through him. Also, I find it weird that I have no prior videos of what I just talked about, but I do have a lot of videos of the crew jumping people, so that's fun. Although I have gotten better, I'm still like semi bad at animating most things, so for most of these shadows I had to actually search up their actual animal counterparts.
Kind of scrunch up or accordion up the middle part of their body, and then finally they anchor the back part of their body straighten forward, and then the whole process starts over again.
Animate them based off of that, because like who knows, I might animate them incorrectly horribly. But for the ability, I just did the same thing I did with the Toad. I made it a ray cast that when it hits an enemy, it gets the snake and pulls them in the air. Actually, now that I'm looking at it though, how I had it before, hey, don't shake your head. The enemy welded to its face. I think it looks pretty good. There was a pretty big error that I'm actually too lazy to fix, and I think it's happening in Compact Rumble sometimes too, but I think because of Roblox's physics engine, when the snake is bringing the enemies back down, it stops carrying them, so I'm assuming the force of the hit on the ground by the enemy causes them to fly all over the place. So sometimes that might result in the model staying the same, but the actual visual parts of it deleting. And because my code uses those parts, they end up breaking. But besides that, there was really nothing wrong with the snake. I think I actually did a pretty good job on it. So last year, me and my friends, we were playing JJS with no cooldowns, and then I was spamming the Great Serpent Fly move and the Elephant Drop. So I thought adding the Elephant Drop would have been funny to add to my game. I was going to make it also shoot water when it was in its NPC form, but I kind of got lazy again. So Max Elephant, it spawns in front of you sometimes, and then it falls to the ground. I'm not sure how you got the shadow in the air, but when it falls, the game searches for anything with a tag called ground, and then shoots a ray cast down. It will eventually fall on the ground, and it will break the surface. There also was a bug that I had to fix, and it was at the start of this section, but the past 3 Shikigami I made, they had something wrong with them, so I had to fix that. I just want to note, I did not make Rabbit Escape second to last. Obviously, I made it after Max Elephant because that's the order it appeared in the show. I totally did not skip it. So Rabbit Escape, it was the easiest model to make. I think I only used like 12 parts to make it, and I didn't want to make the real one with the mark on its belly because there's no point. It's not like you're killing the Shikigami. Anyway, when you click one of your summon shadow moves, then the rabbits come out and they push you and your enemy away from each other, and it stuns the enemy. Alright, we're going to be going into manga spoilers, so skip to this timestamp if you want to see Raga and something else. Alright, Piercing Ox, or Piercing Bull, whatever the thing is actually called. It's just a reskin of Max Elephant, and then it uses Nue's idle animation again. I don't know why it's so cool, but its ability, when it runs in a straight line, and then it does more damage depending on the distance it is to the target. So when I made it into code, I used the humanoid walk to function and then made it run forward, and then depending on the distance it does more damage. And now looking back at it, I probably should have made it like an infinite ray cast and then let it run straight instead of directly moving towards the target. I might actually change that, but besides that, the goat shall be next. So first, from some angles the model doesn't look too good. I'm actually warming up to it now, but some areas they kind of don't seem good. Second, this isn't exactly what it looked like in the manga. I thought because like Sukuna summoned it, it would be like slightly different from how Megami does it. And also the coloring might be off. I originally thought Kururushi was gonna be green, probably because I was thinking of the other cursed spirit. And just want a quick side note, if Megami wasn't such a bum, I think if he tamed this, Shibuya wouldn't happen, because like positive curse energy doesn't work against cursed spirits. So like he could be taking out so many other disaster curses. But besides that, this is the only Shikigami that will not target an enemy when you put it on NPC mode, all it does is follow you and heal. And I mean, if I was gonna give it an attacking ability, I'd probably give it like a area effect, a poison thing of a jig, because like healing most likely requires you to regrow your cells, and if you regrow too many cells, you could get cancer. If I made like a poison area that could kind of like represent cancer, but that's a lot of work. Tiger Funeral or Morning Tiger. This actually did not appear in the manga or Mojo, which I can't believe it. How are they gonna summon Maharaga? Never mind. When you break apart Tiger Funeral, because most of the Shikigami, their abilities is in the name. So if you break Tiger and Funeral, you get, well, a tiger and a funeral. So I think maybe it could have had the ability to like revive a killed Shikigami, or like if it's in the Morning Tiger, if that's its actual name, then maybe like if you infused any killed Shikigami into it, like a totality tiger, it would like strengthen its abilities. But I didn't do any of those ideas, and I think of the tiger from Madagascar, so I made its ability based on the fact that that tiger got through that small hole. So he basically has the ability to become intangible. So now we just have to do the big board. Of course, the final Shikigami is Maharaga, and his ability is to adapt to any and all phenomenon. So when I added that to my game, I made it so that he'll adapt based on how many times he has gotten hit by the same skill. So when you're first hitting him, you do your normal damage and your normal stuns. After that, Raga will stop taking damage, but he will still get hit by the skill's effects. If you're still hitting him, then he'll become immune to the attack. And if you hit him, I think one more time, he'll start to counterattack. Originally, I made Raga teleport behind you, but I thought that was kind of boring, so now he teleports behind you, gains an attack boost, and he becomes immune for a few seconds. He also can grab you when you get too close, or he can throw your projectiles back at you. If you open your domain, you could get some hits off on him before he'll adapt and break it. And there's also a 1 out of 50 chance that one of his counterattacks will be the World Cutting Slash, which of course one-shots. There are two ways to summon Maharaga. The first way is by holding block and then using your shadow attack, which is the ritual summoning, and since the ritual one puts you in like some suspended animation of death or something like that, I made it so that every time you respawn, Maharaga chases you down and attempts to fight you. The second way is by using a bunch of your Shikigami, and then Maharaga will appear. Once that happens, you get to use his moves and you get to summon him normally. The final thing is Megami's domain expansion. Yeah, I was kind enough to give him a closed domain, and the sure hit effect, well, I guess isn't really a sure hit effect, the person can't walk. But depending on what, the highest Shikigami that you summon will be usable in the domain, and then it'll fall out. So if I use Max Elephant, I can use everybody behind it. And this is very chaotic, and one day we'll break the game, but today will not be that day. Alright, I just finished rewatching the video, and I have to say, if you made it this far and watched the whole video, gold star on you, because I know what I was saying, but I'm not sure if you're gonna know, so let's hope it works out. Anyway, I probably am not gonna update this game and just go straight to Compact Rumbles again, because now that I'm done with my hardest year of high school, I have free time, and I'm going to not use it wisely and instead goof off on Roblox and on Marvel Rivals. Like during the editing of the section between the Tiger Funeral and Maharaga, I got the video for season 9, and they're basically adding gadgets to Rivals. Dude, my Goatron is gonna have what, 3 drones? It's gonna be wonderful. So I thank you for watching this video. Have a good day or night. Hopefully in part 2 I can edit a better video. And goodbye.